Good morning. So, off to work again through the dirt road. Weather's been really nice here in Northern California. I mean, it's, the middle of July, and it's nice and cool at night, and it's real pleasant during the day, and I think it's great, but it's different. It gets a little warm during the middle of the day, and I know in Las Vegas it was like 107 or some crazy thing. I mean, I would straight up melt. So I don't know about that. So anyway, recently I went to my, I think it was 45-day checkup for top surgery. Went and saw the surgeon, and got there with plenty of time, and then fiddled around with parking. The silly parking garage is all stacked up, and I had to go round and round and up and down and round and round and up and down a couple times, and finally somebody's pulling out, so I was able to get in. And I went and I saw him, and he's always very pleasant and very professional. He was very pleased with the results. He kind of checked things out, and he thought that they looked like they moved down just about the way he wanted them to, and thought that they were moving in a little too, which is good, because I've been trying to get them to move inwards. I just did what I thought would work, So I have this elastic strap that goes over the top. It's all Velcro, and it tugs down on them just right, so that 24/7 they have some pressure on them to get the implants to go under the muscle, get the muscle to relax, and get them to fluff out. But you want them to get to the center too, and so I wrestle them into the middle and just kind of lean over and tug them this way and tug them that way, and then put the strap on them, and that does seem to work pretty well. So I'm getting good results with it. And I found the elastic strap on Amazon. It was like 30-something bucks, specifically for post-op augmentation, submuscular. I think that's what I searched, or something like that, and it worked out really well. I wish I could remember exactly what it was, but I don't. Otherwise, I'd post a link or something. But I think there's plenty of people out there that have information on that. So I found something that worked, but I think it works for me. Who knows about everybody else? So the surgeon was really pleasant, and said that he thought I was healing remarkably well, and I explained I didn't have any pain, and I was totally back to normal inside 3 weeks. Had some soreness, but nothing else. There was one little stitch that he had to remove, so I laid back on the table and he removed the stitch, and we talked a little bit, and I told him, I'm really super pleased with the results. They are a D, so I'm a D cup, but they fit me so perfectly. I'm really happy with them. I don't care if I'm a D cup. D seems to be the size I need to be, so I'm a D cup. That's fine. So this is where I tell you exactly what 450 milliliters subpectoral on a 5'9", 170-pound girl creates in a cup. So 450 milliliters placed submuscular on me is a D cup, and the reason I know that isn't because I just tried some bras. I went to Victoria's Secrets. So I went to Victoria's Secrets, and I went straight on in, and I told the girl at the counter, hey, I need to get fitted. And she looked at me like, you don't know what size you are? And I told her, I just had augmentation, and I really do need a good bra. So she's, oh yeah, okay, no problem, come with me. So I got a fitting room, and she said, I'll be right back. I'll bring you some bras. And so I whipped off my top, and she knocked on the door in a minute, and I said, just come on in, and I'm standing there, and she brings me some. I put them up on little hooks, and she says, well, I'll be back in a second. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I tried on the first one she brought me, and I really liked it. It was really, and I kind of gave her some instructions, like, I'm not into frilly, I just want some basic stuff, keep the lace to a minimum, just something that works for me. And I told her I thought I was a C, but we discovered I was a D. So she measured me, and she said initially, I think you're a double D, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm a double D, but I hope not anyway. So So she said, yeah, I think you're a D. You're definitely not a C. So it ends up I'm a 38D, which is very, very common. So that works for me. Um, and I was really pleased. I think 400 milliliters would have kept me in a C, but I'm kind of big chested and stuff, so the 450s are working. I could have done 500 and been a real full D or a double D, and still I think actually been just fine. Would have been on a little larger size, and guys would like them. So if you have a boyfriend who likes boobs, well, go get some 500s. If you're my size. I'm 5'9". I'm 170 pounds. Want to lose like 10 pounds in the next month or so. 38-inch chest apparently. I was wearing 40s before, but using the inside hooks, mostly because I needed the cups to be farther out, so I was using that as kind of a sizing trick. And I think that's pretty darn common. So if you're my size and you're trying to figure it out and you want to be a C, I think you'd be looking at a 400 milliliter. I think if you want to be a D like me, then you'd go for 450. And if you're looking for double D, I feel pretty confident that 500 would get you pretty darn close. So hopefully that information is kind of useful. The thing with the Victoria's Secrets visit was really interesting. I'm standing there in my bra, trying on these different things. Girl would come back in and she's looking at me in my bra and I'm talking to her. She's talking about kids. She's talking about, relationships and husbands and work and all these things. And she's asking me, how did I have my kids naturally, or did I have a C-section? I said, well, I do have a C-section scar and I do have 2 girls. And both of those statements are true. I didn't lie to her, but it is what it is. My C-section scar is from a motorcycle accident where they completely rebuilt my pelvis and they had to get in there. So I have a C-section scar. It looks just like any other girl's. And I do have 2 girls. So I didn't lie to her. But it all felt funny, I felt like I felt dishonest. And I didn't like the way that was feeling. So I wasn't sure what to do about it. And of course, it was the same day they were having the Pride gathering up in San Francisco with the Trans March, and my friends are all asking me, hey, are you going? I'm like, going to what? And I didn't even know what's going on. I haven't been to group. I haven't been paying attention. Shame on me. But I was feeling guilty and stuff. So I had this really nice conversation with this girl, and she says, you're looking great, and, good for you for, doing something nice for yourself and feeling good about it. And she says, they look fantastic, the surgeon did a great job. And I was like, oh, thanks, And so as we were talking, and the conversation's winding down and I'm picking what I want, I said, hey, yeah, did you know that they're doing that Pride Parade up in San Francisco today? And she says, yeah, that's so cool, huh? And I'm like, yeah, it is kind of cool. And she says, well, do you know anyone that goes? And I said, yeah, I know a lot of people that go. And she says, oh, so you know some lesbians? And I'm like, well, I am a lesbian. And she says, oh, cool, I know some lesbian girls. I'm like, yeah. I said, hey, I think there's something important I should tell you. And I could tell she's probably thinking like, oh God, this lesbian's gonna come on to me, And I said, I want you to know today you had a really positive experience with someone that you would never have known otherwise. And she says, I don't know what you mean. I said, I wasn't born female. I was born male. And I'm still in the process of transition, but nobody really knows. And sometimes I feel like people make assumptions and it makes me feel dishonest. And you think I had 2 girls myself and I was their father. And she looked at me and she's like, you're joking, right? Right? And I said, no, I'm not joking. But I wanted you to know, like, you had this really positive experience today. And unless I told you, you weren't going to know. And I kind of feel like I need to do my good deed because, it's Pride Day and stuff. So here's my good deed. And she was just like, wow. you're doing great, and I said, oh, thank you. I feel like my life is moving in a direction I'm really happy with. So anyway, before I left, I went and I paid. And before I left, I thought, I need to tell the manager, number one, this girl was awesome. And number two, let the manager know, hey, go ask the sales girl about this experience and really get it firsthand, so that you realize we're just regular people. We're normal girls that come in and buy bras. So, at any rate, I asked to see the manager and I said, hey, it's a good thing. There's nothing negative. I just wanted to say something nice. And so the manager walks up and it's the same girl. That's the same girl. And she's like, what's up? And I'm like, well, I came here to tell the manager how much I appreciated talking to you and how nice you were. And she's like, oh, well, thank you. So it turned out to be really, really positive. But I told my surgeon about that. So we're kind of rolling right back to the beginning of this conversation where I talked to the surgeon. And I told the surgeon, I said, I pretty much stood the scrutiny of, Victoria's Secrets. And your work stood up. So, good job. They really do help me blend in the world to a degree I never quite experienced before transitioning surgically. So top surgery for me has been incredibly well done, and I told him I was super, super happy with the results because I clearly am able to blend in with the female world and the female populace to the degree I'm looking for at a very early stage of transition. And God, it feels good. It feels so good just to be me. So with all that being said, I'm certainly hoping as you move through your path that you understand every day is another step. And sometimes we feel impatient and want to, shortcut things and jump ahead. You know what? You got to read every page or you won't know the story, right? You got to read every page. So your life is the book. Read every page. Don't miss a thing. Remember it as well. Go through. Remember the good, remember the bad. There are going to be people in your world that ask you, hey, how did that go? How is that for you? You need to be there for them when they ask. They're going to ask, and it's important to be able to help. You went through the process and people helped you. Someday it's going to be your turn. And I'm finding now and then it's my turn. I had a girl at the nail salon who really needed to just let me listen to her. And I will listen to her again. She's just a sweetheart. And she's going through the biggest difficulties you could imagine, far in excess of anything I've experienced. And her life is hard. And she needed someone to hear her. So every now and then I think about her. And every now and then I think, there's going to be a day this week where I don't have anything going on in the evening, and I'm going to call her and ask her, hey, you want to run down to Starbucks and catch up? She's a sweetheart, and I really wish I could do more for her, but to be honest, she just needs me to listen. And maybe that time will come for you, when somebody just needs you to listen. There have been plenty of people who've done nothing but listen to me. So sometimes it's my turn, and sometimes will be your turn as well. So I want you to remember, if you don't have someone to listen to you and you're struggling so bad, and I feel for you, I care, that I really, really feel for you and your situation, and I'm trying to share to somehow lighten your load, or at least get you to tomorrow. Remember, there's transgenderpulse.com. There are some fantastic people there, and I know I've said it before, but they are going to be there to listen, to point the direction for you, to try and ease things through for you and share with you so you understand where they've been to. And if you stay there long enough, you'll be the one sharing with the new girl that just showed up, who is distraught and needs an ear. They also have a resource page with therapists in your area, that you search by your area and you find therapists in your area. I use that myself, and I cannot stress this enough. The most important thing you can do when you start your transition is to get a really good therapist before you do anything else. If you're worried there might not be a tomorrow, remember that they also have suicide prevention hotlines, and they are there for you to use. You've got to put you first sometimes. And if that is how you do it, then do it right away. Don't wait. Remember, I care. I absolutely ache for your hardships because I've been there too. And I want you to know you can get through them like I am. It's not easy some days, but you can do it. And remember, you are not alone. I'm here with you. Others are too. You will find them when you need them. They will find you when they need you. Take care of yourself. Make sure you're being good to you. And know that I am here for you too. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.